Crutch.
Crutch. Crutch.
Crutch, you need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
Being a cadet at our Fleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
I've spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. That's hard.
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
I owe you something. It is coming just for you.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
An absolutely incredible game in Monterrey as the Netherlands beat Morocco. Oh, excuse me, Morocco beat the Netherlands. Yeah! What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? Morocco beat the Netherlands on penalties. Off to a flying start here for this scoreline. It's late, but what a day of football it was, from Brazil getting through ahead of Japan, from Germany getting knocked out at the hands of Paraguay, and now Morocco getting it done against Netherlands in a penalty shootout in a game. I'd be curious for your perspective, guys. Is this a game that you guys think that Morocco deserved to win in the end?
Yeah, listen, I'll begin. I just thought this was a game for the ages. We love this beautiful game. We love the FIFA World Cup. We love the experiences that it's already given us, the stories, the moments that it's provided. I mean, the stories off the field have been just as beautiful as the stories on the field. And now we're in the knockout stages. The stories on the field mean so much more. And I thought every single player, from Morocco to the Netherlands, from start to end, the players who began the game, the players who ended the game, it was absolutely on point. Goalkeepers, perfection. Defensive displays, unreal. Goals, opportunities, we wanted more of it, but we got just enough to keep us entertained. The referee, forgetting that there was even a yellow card in his pocket, loved every minute of that. And for it to go down to penalty kicks and see it finish the way it did do, I just think this was the game that was a gift that just kept on giving.
Yeah, I'm just going to put this out there. This is the best game the World Cup's produced so far. Every single thing you're talking about, it had passion, spirit, desire, but we even had blood. And I never want to see
multiple times.
But this was a match for the first time.
Speak for yourself.
You saw desire. You saw commitment. I mean, Van Acker, his head was bleeding. He wasn't going to come off that pitch. You have players like Saibadi. He's bleeding. He's not coming off the pitch. And this is what the World Cup's about, where it's total commitment. It's playing for your country, but it's also playing for your families and your entire just population that you represent. I loved every single about this in terms of the match, in terms of what we saw. People come to see stars of the World Cup, but mostly people come to be entertained. And this is the most entertaining match. I thought we had the most entertaining match when we had Austria versus Algeria. This is one better because you could feel the tension. You could feel the stakes with every single kick of the ball, with every tackle, with every save. You just felt like you couldn't turn your TV off.
Yeah, these are the late winners or equalizers that we've seen in this World Cup. So many goals in second half stoppage time. And, of course, tonight we see the equalizer from Issa Diop in the 91st minute after Morocco pushed and pushed and pushed. To be fair, I will talk about the Netherlands a bit more, but the goal that Cody Gakpo scores to open the scoring, an incredibly emotional moment for him. It's one of those that, unfortunately, will be forgotten that little bit as a result of their elimination. But let's talk a bit about the penalty shootout that we saw, because we saw 5 misses and 5 conversions from the 10 takes. And it's one of those where we see penalty kick shootouts in domestic cup competitions and in the Champions League as well. I think we saw with the 2 shootouts today, we saw from Paraguay and Germany, and we saw in this match, there is just that different level of pressure. There's something about the weight of the country being on your shoulders. We have seen players miss wide when you would never expect them to miss wide. Incredible moments from both goalkeepers in this shootout. For Bruggen, who all of a sudden, he makes the save on the second one, but then it goes in off the back of his heel.
Yeah.
And that's a huge moment now. It looms large in the game. There are these huge moments, but you can feel the weight of the pressure. Every kick feels so significant in the extra time period, but especially in the shootout, Lahoud.
Yeah, for me, it was just exceptional to see what Morocco was able to do in this game. And you and I were talking about it, where I think Moroccan football is onto something that the rest of Africa is playing catch-up in. But I think they've closed the gap significantly with the rest of the competition, specifically Europe. And when you look at their record against European competition, I'm going to put this out there. 11 of their last 14 World Cup matches have come against European teams. And you look at their last 6, they've won 4 of their last 6. So the gap is definitely closed, Europe. And this is now the new standard of African football. Morocco is the standard of African football, and it really showed. To see players and this new crop of generational talent like Ismail Saibati to score that game-winning penalty kick. Obviously, Achraf Hakimi was part of that old guard that was at the 2022 World Cup. But players just all through the team. Neil Al-Ainawi, unfortunate that he misses the penalty, but he was outstanding. There's this sense of ambition about Moroccan football that I think we saw on the pitch today.
Yeah.
And I think it is just one piece of the pie that we see overall in the sense of growing ambition in Africa. And I really said when we started this show that African football is onto something, but Morocco's the guiding light. And I'm just so happy that their story continues, because you said that they could do something special.
Yeah.
You still think they can win the World Cup?
Yeah, let me break it down for you. Listen, this was obviously incredible. Koop Miners came off the bench, obviously had a terrific impact in the game, and he was brilliant defensively, clearing every single cross, stepped up to take that first penalty kick, slotted it. You had El Ayounui miss his penalty kick. Justin Cliver came off the bench, 113th minute, missed his penalty kick. Then we had Rahimi score his, Wout Weghorst scored his, Taibi scored his, Quinton Timber missed the target completely, absolutely shanked his one like Adam Hunt's drive on the 19th tee. Then we look at Hakimi's. Hakimi missed his penalty kick. Never saw that one coming.
Wide.
There's to your pressure that you're talking about, the immense amount of pressure. Guy's played in the biggest games in the world already. He's been in this occasion before, and he missed his penalty kick. Somerville had his opportunity, missed his penalty kick, and then, of course, Saibari, who didn't have a great game, was the match winner, ripped off the shirt. Incredible performance. Listen, to answer your question, African football is smiling at this World Cup, and they deserve to smile. And I think Moroccan fans are unique, where they have already had a taste of success at the FIFA World Cup, being the first African side to make it to the semi-final. That's a tremendous achievement in 2022. And I think, of course, a little bit hurt about what happened in the African Cup of Nations, albeit it's been a bit controversial. This is experience now that has put this team into a position where, for the first time I've watched the Dutch in a knockout game, going up against a team that's not from South America or UEFA, and absolutely dominate the game. And I'm really proud to say that it's a team from Africa. And I think it's something we all have to really understand, that the game is changing now. The Netherlands were not the better team going into this game. They were not the favourite as far as I'm concerned. And they were not the better team during the game and throughout the game. They showed tremendous heart. They showed tremendous passion, tremendous quality, an amazing tactical display of defence. But Morocco always had a tendency to find an answer, and they never stopped running. There was something about the ability, and I feel like this passion that they have behind them, they're fighting for something. They're running for something. It's inevitable this Morocco side will go deep in this competition. It's inevitable that this Morocco side might just be the first team to win a FIFA World Cup. And why not now? Why not now? You've already gone through a tough team that doesn't lose in knockout stages, albeit they did lose to Argentina in the last penalty kick shootout. They found a way in Morocco. It's such a proud moment for them, their supporters, their people. The players out there have to hold their head high, as do the Netherlands. This was a game An absolute game. I love this game. I love this
so many
game,
of the comments are about what a day of football, what a great game, worthy of a final. How can you not be romantic about football? We see there on the screen, and it was such a brilliant game. But to Ian's point, Lahoud, I think the fascinating part of this from a Morocco standpoint is at the last World Cup, they make this great run to the semifinal. That manager sticks on Regragui, and he goes all the way to the Africa Cup of Nations. And the reason why he's let go is not only the fans, but the federation feel that there was another gear for them to hit if they changed up their style, if they decided we're going to be the protagonist, we're going to attack the game. And that is exactly what this new manager, Mohamed Ouabi, who's come in, has done. He said we're going to play as trying to be the better team, not the team trying to win the game in a different way. They went after the Netherlands, and then they won the game. How do you feel that the managerial change is now justified as a result of what we've seen?
I think Mohamed Ouabi is a reflection of the standard that Moroccan football actually is at. And full credit to Walid Regragui for what he did at the last World Cup. But let's be honest, he did it a different way, being pragmatic, sitting off the ball. And you would ask me about the midfield. The technical ability of this Moroccan midfield has just gone leaps and bounds and become so much better. And when you look at the top performers, you look at Neil El Ainaoui, I thought he was sensational.
Brilliant.
Azzedine Ounahi in the second half bossed the midfield, and people were talking about Frankie de Jong, didn't see him for much of the second half. We have to give full credit, and I'm gonna give you a little story on Mazraoui. He actually was born just outside Amsterdam. He was born in the same town as Matthijs de Ligt. He was overlooked and came through the Ajax Academy, and then his story moved forward. And so for a player like him, who was told that he was not good enough to play for the Dutch national team, he chose to represent the Moroccan national team. He was part of that recruitment process where the Moroccan Federation went and sought out different players of dual nationals. Players that they said, hey, if you want to be a star, if you want to be a part of something, we're building something special. But he's not the only one when you look through this roster. And you ask me about Mohamed Ouabi. You want to know what he said in his first ever press conference when they asked him, what's your ambition with this team? He said, I'm here to win the World Cup. When you ask, why not us? You have to have an ambitious manager to push the standard of what was done before. And you see it in the subs that he's made. It takes a lot of guts for a manager who's been there in the U20s, in the U23s, and now is the head coach of the Moroccan Federation, the head coach of Moroccan football. He has such a pulse on each and every single one of these players. And the player that I thought just crystallized everything Morocco is doing right now is Issa Diop. And Issa Diop has a fascinating story because he had an opportunity to represent Senegal. And he actually turned the Senegalese national team down because he said, you know what, I'm with the French under-20s. I'm going to be the next version of Le Bleu. And so that didn't work out. France said, you're not going to be one of us. So he made a promise that the next time he had an opportunity, he would go and represent Africa. Well, his mom is Moroccan, and it was Mohamed Ouabi who went and recruited him. Went to his house, knocked on the door, and said, hey, here's your chance of redemption. Come play for us. And here he is being a national hero. He's a player that Moroccans, they found very difficult to accept at first because they thought, hey, if he did that to Senegal, is he going to do that to us?
Also,
but look at what he's done.
First goal for Morocco came in this matchup. I mean, this was spectacular. Mazraoui, for me, was player of the match. Every single thing he did, the
tackle at the end, from Somerville.
How do you go to the ground inside your own penalty area in stoppage time, in extra time? I mean, it's just mind-blowing what's happened, what we've just witnessed here. From a Morocco point of view, it's amazing that you see performers like that. And of course, there will always be what happened in the penalty kick shootout, right?
Yeah.
Bono, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
I kept saying it, though, Chris, that this guy's going to have something to say about it, and he kind of embarrassed me, albeit there was a couple of woodworks. I think there was 3 hit off the woodwork and 1 went wide, which was Kluivert. But the way he had his style, I don't know if I might have to show you it.
Yeah, please.
So basically, if you're facing, the goal's behind me, right? So basically, if the goalkeeper's about to step, he's moving. And he's staying upright when he's moving.
But he's not diving.
But he's not diving. He's not making it easy. He's staying upright and then actually held his hand up to make the important stop. Was it Somerville? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Somerville.
Yeah. Somerville. And to me, his record is incredible already. He saves 27% for club and country, which is a ridiculous statistic in itself. But penalty kick shootouts, he always has a tendency to have some sort of an impact. And I think he deserves a ton of praise. You don't have to save them all. You just have to save the most important one that gives your team a chance to win. And that's what a goalkeeper will do in a penalty kick shootout. I hate that we're kind of seeing a loser in this game because both nations need to hold their head incredibly high. They just give us a reason to celebrate the game even more so.
And you look at Bono, every player in the starting 11, their age starts with a 2. Except for Bono in goal. He is the one experienced player that's been there, done that, and seems to come up big in these penalty shootouts.
Yeah, you go back to the World Cup, I think it was against Spain, where he had 2 saves, right? And we had talked in the lineup about difference makers. Yeah. And I said the one person that probably most people don't think about when it comes to knockout competition is Yassine Bono. And he's such a difference maker for me because when you get to the business end of knockout competition, whether it be the Champions League, Europa League, or the biggest of them yet, the World Cup, I'm a big believer that World Cups are decided by goalkeepers. Today, it was decided by 2 goalkeepers. But Yassine Bono knew when to step up, and he always does. He's done it for Sevilla, he's done it for Morocco, and there's a big reason why, right now, he's the best goalkeeper in Africa. In my opinion, he's the best goalkeeper probably in African history.
Wow.
And I back that by what he's done.
That's a statement.
At the club level, what he's doing with Morocco, he's a big part of why they made history in 2022. And he will continue to be part of why they could build on that history and probably go win a World Cup.
So up next for Morocco then is a matchup against Canada. We're talking about Youssouf Bono. He was actually born in Montreal.
Montreal boy.
And so he will take on the nation of his birth in the next round. Have to be honest, if you're Canada, for as much as you're overwhelmed by what you saw from Morocco, those lads have to be exhausted. They just went 120 minutes, blow for blow, with one of the best teams in the world.
Did they slow down for 120 minutes?
No, that is true.
That's
that is
my
true.
worry.
They kept running at full speed for the full duration of the game. That'll be a great matchup in the last 16. We look forward to that one. Talk plenty about Morocco there. We got to focus on the Netherlands going out. That's next here on the Golazo Network.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my camp. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started.
I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
The Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Is Golazo Network. 48 nations here on Scoreline. The Netherlands going out of the World Cup at the hands of Morocco. It finished 1-1 after 120 minutes, and in the shootout, Morocco win 3-2, and the Netherlands are going home from the World Cup. It is yet another disappointment for this Oranje side at this tournament. You look at their recent run of results in 2022, going out in the quarterfinal to Argentina, of course not qualifying in 2018, finished third in that incredible tournament in Brazil in 2014, and of course finishes runners-up, losing to Spain in the final in 2010. They have still not lost a match in 90 minutes at a World Cup since 2006. They've all been extra time or penalties. It happens to them again. In the overall, I think a lot of people right now, guys, are questioning the approach of Ronald Koeman in this match. They competed very well from a physical standpoint, but they didn't do a great deal with the ball. They get a goal on the counterattack. Somerville does well to play it for Gakpo, but are you negative on how they approach the game in terms of having 30% possession and not really a great deal of attacking prowess in the match?
Yeah, it really caught me by surprise that they went with the back five until I thought you did an excellent job, Ian, of breaking down why they would do that. And it's paying respect to one of the strengths of Morocco and Achraf Hakimi. But when you pull the layers back a bit, I just thought as the match went on, the Netherlands needed to make some changes, and Ronald Koeman did do that by bringing in Weghorst, and it paid off and paid dividends with Somerville. But for me on the day, too many players just had subpar performances as the match went on, and you could see the differences in maybe in energy, in legs, and it is so difficult when you get into knockout competition, especially at the World Cup, when you've started a match under pressure, like you did in the first 45, and then you have to change that tactic, and momentum is a hell of a thing. There were so many different moments where, if you think of the Somerville opportunity, where Mazraoui makes the challenge, that's a game-changing moment. Where the Dutch team, they just had the window of opportunity to put that killer instinct in, and it just wasn't working for them on the day. But overall, based on the display of Bart Verbruggen, you can't be too upset about it, because on the day, I thought they defended pretty well, bar Virgil van Dijk for me.
Listen, the statistic here, I don't buy into.
Yeah.
Because this game, as I mentioned already so many times, it was a game for the ages. Both of these teams walk off that field and should hold their head incredibly high. As an entertainer, you are paid to perform as a footballer, but you're also paid to try and compete to win. And sometimes when you forget about it, these guys are not getting much money to represent their country. They're getting a few bonuses here, but they do it out of pride. They all want to win, and they all left absolutely everything out there on the pitch, which I think is a tremendous achievement in itself, because they gave us a game for the ages. We'll be talking about this game for a very long time, and it'll probably be one that we'll be talking about at the end of this tournament in particular. The Dutch in particular, I thought, tactically, were excellent. Excellent. Morocco are always a difficult team to compete against, and I actually think Ronald Koeman recognised they're better than us. On paper, this team is a better team than what we are. And he does not have a good record going up against teams that are in the top 5 FIFA ranking. He doesn't have a victory, full stop, against any team in the top 5 FIFA ranking still after this defeat. Or not defeat, but penalty kick defeat.
Yeah.
I just think that tactically, he wrote up a game plan. How can we compete and give ourselves the best possible chance to try and go through in this tie? And I thought Koeman did it excellently. I actually liked the back five. I thought it was good. I thought Van Dijk was good. He wasn't bad. He was good. He got caught out a little bit for the goal, but his overall performance was very good. Ake was okay. I thought Van Hekke was unbelievably good. I thought Van de Ven made one of the best challenges I've seen in this World Cup along the backline. We are giving Mazraoui so much credit. We should be doing the same for Van de Ven for his challenge and block. And I think on the right-hand side, Dumfries deserves a lot of credit as well.
You just named a bunch of defenders, though.
Yeah.
Do they not do anything on the other end of the pitch? Yeah, sure.
I'm interested in what you have to say about the midfield.
The midfield, they actually enjoyed a bit of possession when they won it. And I think De Jong deserves a bit of credit. Yes, they did.
Well, I see that 30%, Ian.
I see that very differently in the midfield
of the game.
Because
I don't care, because you're going up against a team that is going to dominate the ball. As I mentioned already before, you're going up against a team that you know are better than you, right? And the possession tells you that. They're better than you on paper as a team, as a unit. Yes, the Dutch have individuals, and they have class individuals, but you have to have a game plan. When the Dutch got possession of the ball, the way they swept the ball forward to Weghorst when he came on, obviously for the goal, was a great example of what the midfield did incredibly well. The fullbacks obviously went forward well, but defendedly, I thought they were excellent. The midfield was good. I thought it was much more competitive than I expected it to be. I thought Morocco would dominate that midfield. They didn't. Possession, yes, but the Dutch were so tactically tucked in. It's hard to break that down. They defended with their lives, and it started from the players in midfield up front. They also defended incredibly well as well. The offensive game is something completely different. The way you go forward. I didn't see enough from them, dangerous-wise, in this game consistently enough in the first 45 minutes. Opening 5 minutes, maybe they had a lot of the better opportunities, and I thought this could be the Dutch's day. It didn't turn out to be the case. Robbie had a quiet game, not good enough. Cody Gakpo, very quiet game until he got his goal. Somerville, probably the most dangerous player, but quiet in the first 45 minutes. Second half, much more entertaining. But those were few and far between. Those were moments in the game. But I just think overall, I have to hand Koeman a bit of credit. He gave his team the best possible chance to compete against this Morocco team. I think he realises that the Dutch are far behind Morocco now. That's an honest story.
Do you really think so?
Yeah,
that would be the one question that I ask is,
they're way behind them.
It's not even just necessarily about the level of personnel that they have, which I think is at the very least on par, if not better, from a Dutch standpoint. But I'd be curious, because it is the Netherlands, and sometimes it is a pressure, it's a burden, the fact that they exported a style of play, they exported a system. Total football originates from them. If you hear them talk about themselves, they still talk about themselves as the country that exported total football to the world. Do you think that a change of approach is the right thing for them, or are they burdened by the style of play? Because we didn't see that at all.
If they played total football, it would have been a different game. Morocco would have beaten them. Better team, better performance, better passers, better movement, create better chances. Eventually what will happen is they'll find a way to break you down. And at the end of the day, the Dutch, I just thought tactically were more sound being defensive.
I disagree with that, because the part I don't agree with, I agree with what you talk about the back five in terms of the strength of this Dutch side is the back line, right? But did you see Frankie de Jong today when you talk about the midfield? Yeah. Did you see Ryan Gravenberch today?
Yes.
Did you see them give away possession?
No.
Time and time again in the second half.
You need to understand that you're going up against a bit of pressure, so you're going to have to use the ball.
I don't agree with your analysis in this from the midfield. So Ronald Koeman, their best bet was when they bypassed the midfield and they went direct, right? And they were able to create some half chances. But your best players, two of your best players, weren't a non-factor today in Ryan Gravenberch and Frankie de Jong.
I don't agree.
I fully disagree with that part of it.
Fair enough.
At what point do you not bring an extra midfielder to shore up the midfield?
Well,
they did at some point.
Because Morocco, by the end of the game, it was one-way traffic. Morocco were the better team to finish the game.
Yeah, because they're the fitter team.
They also had more bodies in the middle of the park.
Yeah, because they're the more offensive-minded team. And like I said, the better quality team was Morocco. So defensively, de Jong and Gravenberch had to sit in front of the back five. They weren't in that game to win possession of the ball and basically play to, your strikers. They weren't. They were basically trying to get possession of the ball and play it out wide so they could get a breather and try to get further forward. Didn't happen for them occasionally because they gave up the ball far too frequently, right?
But I guess the question is, Ian, is how does that happen? The Morocco manager has only been in charge of this team for 2 build-up games and then this World Cup. In 6 games, he's managed to forge an identity of a ball-playing team with, I would argue, lesser players than what the Netherlands have. The Netherlands have been building at this for generations in terms of ball-playing and being good with the ball, and they were outclassed.
That generation is over, Chris Wittyngham.
No, but you don't think the current generation, that midfield, the way that they started in the previous games of Reinders, Gravenberch, and de Jong is not good with possession? You don't think they can be an attacking team with the ball?
Not as good as Morocco, Chris.
You don't think those 3 players are better than what they started with of Bouadi, El Ainaoui, and Onahi in midfield? You don't think that the 3 that the Dutch have can be better than them?
As individuals, yes, on their day they can be better, which is why individually they play at separate clubs that are of a high level. But the Morocco team is a much better team. Like when we talk and celebrate Dutch football, we talk about Dutch football as a team. Now it's not. Now it's a team of individuals. And the Dutch national team have had a nightmare trying to get a coach to be able to figure a way out how to get results, let alone performance. This was about trying to get a result tonight. It wasn't about the performance. It wasn't about having the ball, the majority of the ball. And to answer your question, we go to Ryan Gravenberch. He struggled because he didn't have enough contacts on the ball, right? I get that one. But actually, de Jong was ridiculous. He was the one who touched it the majority of the time in that midfield. He had 88% pass completion.
How many passes?
37 of 42.
Yeah, so like, it's like when you win the ball, like you're playing in the defensive midfield role.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a back five, right? You need to win possession of the ball and transition quick. They weren't quick enough, but when you're looking at Weghorst, which is why he came on, you then have that outlet because Robbie wasn't doing a good enough job holding up possession of the ball. Somerville not strong enough in winning possession of the ball, especially when De Jong's trying to flip it around the corner. And Gakpo was very quiet in this game. Obviously, he was going through a bit of personal trauma. But the goal that they got, right? Bang, bang, bang. It happened incredibly quickly. And it's sometimes down to moments in the game, and I think that's what Koeman was trying to do. He was just hoping that his team had moments in the game. And they had many moments. I don't think we can crap on the Netherlands' performance at all. I think tactically, and the reason why I'm saying it is because I've been in that position defensively where you're going up against Bayern Munich. You're not going to have the ball. You've got to come up with a game plan as to how you can try and beat them. You're not trying to look good in moments here and just think that, oh, well, you know, we had a 5-minute spell here. No, trying to beat them, trying to figure a way out to go through in the next round, and I actually felt like they did.
Let's talk a bit about Cody Gakpo, who scores the goal. It was an absolutely sensational moment for him. He announced a couple of days ago that he and his partner lost their unborn child in the build-up to this one, obviously having to deal with that. And we saw the incredible, overwhelming flood of emotion that comes from him when he scores that goal. It was a sensational moment. It's one of those that would live on for all times if they go on to win the game. It is still a moment that I think we'll remember from this World Cup. An incredible ability to put something off to the side and still go through. Obviously, there you see the announcement of what happens in the build-up to this. It must have been devastating for the two of them. You guys are both fathers. What must that have been like?
Yeah, look, I usually don't talk about this, but my wife and I have actually been through that experience, and it was only a year ago that we lost both of our twin girls. And it's one of the most devastating things you can ever experience in life. And until you go through that, and I would never wish that on anyone, you don't even have the words. And sometimes, just waking up the next day, that's the only win that you can feel in life. And so, first and foremost, my thoughts and prayers go out to Cody Gakpo, his partner, and the entire Gakpo family, because what you saw in that moment, what you saw in that celebration, is you are not alone. And for me, personally, there are people in this room, and I look at the guy next to me, that got me through that difficult moment. They got my wife and I, our producer, Brees, so many people at this network, that I don't know if I'd be here today without the support around me. I really mean that. And so to see the strength, to see the character that Cody Gakpo has to go and play, sometimes as a human being, having football, having something that distracts you from the pain you're feeling, that's all you can ask for. But to do one better and to score a goal for your national team, I can't imagine what that feels like. I remember the feeling of coming in here and doing work and feeling like I was just sleepwalking. I didn't even know what was around me. So to show the perseverance, to show just the strength of who he is as a man, I have the utmost respect for him. I think of his family. I think of his parents sitting there watching their son do the unthinkable. And sometimes as a human being, you play for something bigger than yourself. And I think he was really playing for his baby boy. And I just, you know, it's such a difficult thing to talk about, and I'm just floored to see what he did tonight.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for sharing that story, man. Yeah. And I have nothing else to add. And all I can say is I'm incredibly emotional, and I was emotional watching it, and I'm sure many people out there were also emotional watching what Cody Gakpo and his family were going through. And I was emotional because I knew what Mike had been through as well. So, yeah, all I can say is our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family during that difficult time. But there are powers above that are watching down. Let's never forget that, as you saw in the game.
Can only echo that sentiment. We'll be right back with more here on the Golazo Network.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started.
I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
And welcome back to Morning Footy. Scoreline here on the Golazo Network. Here's what it looks like later today as we have Ivory Coast taking on Norway, France taking on Sweden from MetLife Stadium. Mexico and Ecuador is a cracker at the Azteca. I'm not certain there'll be a lot of goals, but it will be a plenty interesting match. And this is, of course, our coverage throughout the day. In all seriousness, Morning Footy does come your way from 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Golazo Match Day will follow the Ivory Coast-Norway match from 3 p.m. and then we'll have you covered throughout the day with Match Day at 7, Match Night at 8, and Scoreline from 11 p.m. Eastern to round up all of the action. And to look ahead to tomorrow's action, we bring in our betting expert, John Buckets Eimer. Buckets, what are you looking at? Yeah, it's a late one. Let that yawn out, my guy. What do you have on the card for tomorrow?
Got a bet for each of the matches taking place tomorrow, starting with that Côte d'Ivoire versus Norway matchup. I'm going to look at the guy that everyone's talked about at least 1,000 times up to this point, Jan Diomande. If Côte d'Ivoire want to get past the Norwegian Viking Erling Haaland, they're going to need his help, which is why I was shocked to see that Diomande, just to get a single shot on target, is even money, plus 100. The books don't think Côte d'Ivoire are going to put up a fight. I disagree with the books heavily, and I'm expecting goals in this game. Bet number 2, France versus Sweden. Yikes. Sorry, Sweden. This one's not going to be pretty. France over 2.5 goals by themselves in this one. Again, an even money. I think France might score 4. So give me that over 2.5 all day. Give me Dembele. Give me, who were the other guys? Mbappe. Give me Olise. Give me everybody to just run riot on the Sweden defense that has been terrible all tournament long. And then bet number 3, the boring one. Sorry, IPJ. You know that you and me love betting on goals, but I don't see them in this match between Mexico and Ecuador. I'm going with no goals in the first half at plus 125. 0-0 at the 45th minute. I think both teams are going to be too scared to make that first error. They're going to sit back, they're going to defend, and they're going to wait for someone to make a mistake, and I don't see that happening in the first 45 minutes.
And Buckets, that's a surprisingly expensive price, I suppose. Normally, no goals in the first half. That's a pretty expensive, but I think that's just what everyone thinks this game is going to be, which is difficult defensive slog.
Yeah, I mean, the over-under is set to just 1.5 goals for the entire match, so we're not even getting the argument that we could see 3 goals in this game. You could bet on just 2 or more. I think everyone's expecting this to be cagey, and I hate to just default to everyone else, but I agree with them.
Buckets, how was your dog food for dinner tonight?
I haven't done it yet, but I will do it on air. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
oh,
for
that's
those
right.
that
That's
did
right.
not follow.
Steak. Oh, and mashed potatoes. That's what we had.
Yeah, for those that did not follow earlier today, he said that he would have to eat his dog's food if Germany lost, and they duly did. So, Buckets, we'll talk to you throughout the day on Tuesday, reacting to all these matches. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
And that's Buckets with his betting look at tomorrow. Let's just talk about the games in general. Ian, let's talk about Mexico, Ecuador. What are you looking forward to in this one?
Yeah, so glad that I chose this as my must game to watch after Buckets told me there's going to be absolutely no goals in the game, especially in that first 45 minutes. As I'm looking forward to the drama. Mexico at the Azteca, always a difficult place to go play. They've never lost a World Cup game when they have played at home at the Azteca. Both teams should be at full strength going into this game. No suspensions to worry about either. Mexico are just terrific, though. They're absolutely dominant when it comes to home performances, especially in this World Cup. They change into a completely different team. I think that Javier Aguirre's going to change his lineup as well. Raul Jimenez will probably come back into the lineup up top. Obviously, you'll see Raul Rangel probably go back in between the sticks again. And I've got a feeling that Mexico at home will be an absolute dominant force and very difficult for Ecuador to compete against. But Ecuador don't concede many goals, don't score many goals, which is why many people are tipping not many goals to be in this game. They do have some weapons and they've got experience up top with Enner Valencia, who's not really impressed me so far. I just wonder if that experience might be the difference in this game. However, Ecuador looking to win back-to-back games in the World Cup for the very first time, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, look, I love that game, but I'm going to go with Africa yet again. I'm inspired by what I saw from Morocco, and I'm going with Côte d'Ivoire against Norway. I'm going to say the Netherlands because I'm so hopped on coffee right now. Jeez, it's late. Look, I think a lot of people are talking about Norway as the dark horses, but they're meeting a true dark horse in this because Erling Haaland gives you a bit of an edge, but this Côte d'Ivoire side, they're young, they're hungry, and the big thing for me is they're getting Evan Ndika back. That's been one of the stories no one's talking about. Evan Ndika had a hamstring injury coming into the World Cup. That is going to be the matchup, or one of them, that you should look at. How Ndika holds up against Erling Haaland. Another matchup that could decide this. Buckets mentioned Jan Diomande, a player you know very well from Borussia Dortmund, Julian Riersen. Yeah. He has a thigh injury, so he's a major doubt. If Riersen can't go and Arsenis has to be the deputizing fullback, chop suey. Yep. Jan Diomande is going to eat him alive. So those are the two matchups to look out for. And I love the shout from Buckets, score or assist, Jan Diomande to look out for.
I think his price has just gone through the roof in this competition, hasn't it, Jan Diomande? And he's gone from going to Liverpool to going to every single team there is on the planet this World Cup.
It seems like Paris Saint-Germain is the most likely, though, which is a frightening prospect. Him in that team.
100 million as well that was mentioned next to his name. 100 million.
It's up to 100 million now.
100 million.
19 years old.
19.
And already 100 million, but he has shown incredible promise.
In the United States of America as well before he moved. That's crazy.
Couldn't get on with an MLS reserve team, and yet here he is a few years later.
100 million later.
100 million. Why not? And again, a reminder, coming up on Tuesday in mere hours, Morning Footy gets you started with the action at 10 a.m. Match day throughout the 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. window. Match night from 8, and Scoreline wraps it all up at the end of the day after Ivory Coast, Norway, France, Sweden, and Mexico and Ecuador. That is all still to come on the Golazo Network. Stay with us.
Now. Thanks.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes. Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? A crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started.
I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
An absolutely incredible game in Monterrey as the Netherlands beat Morocco. Oh, excuse me, Morocco beat the Netherlands. Yeah! What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? Morocco beat the Netherlands on penalties. Off to a flying start here for this scoreline. It's late, but what a day of football it was, from Brazil getting through ahead of Japan, from Germany getting knocked out at the hands of Paraguay, and now Morocco getting it done against Netherlands in a penalty shootout in a game. I'd be curious for your perspective, guys. Is this a game that you guys think that Morocco deserved to win in the end?
Yeah, listen, I'll begin. I just thought this was a game for the ages. We love this beautiful game. We love the FIFA World Cup. We love the experiences that it's already given us, the stories, the moments that it's provided. I mean, the stories off the field have been just as beautiful as the stories on the field. And now we're in the knockout stages. The stories on the field mean so much more. And I thought every single player, from Morocco to the Netherlands, from start to end, the players who began the game, the players who ended the game, it was absolutely on point. Goalkeepers, perfection. Defensive displays, unreal. Goals, opportunities, we wanted more of it, but we got just enough to keep us entertained. The referee, forgetting that there was even a yellow card in his pocket, loved every minute of that. And for it to go down to penalty kicks and see it finish the way it did do, I just think this was the game that was a gift that just kept on giving.
Yeah, I'm just going to put this out there. This is the best game the World Cup's produced so far. Every single thing you're talking about, it had passion, spirit, desire, but we even had blood. And I never want to see
multiple times.
But this was a match for the first time.
Speak for yourself.
I know, well, you saw desire. You saw commitment. I mean, Van Acker, his head was bleeding. He wasn't going to come off that pitch. You have players like Saibadi. He's bleeding. He's not coming off the pitch. And this is what the World Cup's about, where it's total commitment. It's playing for your country, but it's also playing for your families and your entire just population that you represent. I loved every single about this in terms of the match, in terms of what we saw. People come to see stars of the World Cup, but mostly people come to be entertained. And this is the most entertaining match. I thought we had the most entertaining match when we had Austria versus Algeria. This is one better because you could feel the tension. You could feel the stakes with every single kick of the ball, with every tackle, with every save. You just felt like you couldn't turn your TV off.
Yeah, these are the late winners or equalizers that we've seen in this World Cup. So many goals in second half stoppage time. And of course, tonight we see the equalizer from Issa Diop in the 91st minute after Morocco pushed and pushed and pushed. To be fair, I will talk about the Netherlands a bit more, but the goal that Cody Gakpo scores to open the scoring, an incredibly emotional moment for him. It's one of those that unfortunately will be forgotten that little bit as a result.